And just because you may not like a certain asset class doesn't mean that, that you shouldn't be diversified. You want to find different areas where you can spread out your wealth so that you can be nimble as the rules of the game change. We've been saying this for a long time. There's still people who don't fully understand that. And I think that those are the people who are going to be really hurt when they focus way too much on one asset class and they're all in it. And I'm speaking especially to those who are heavily invested in crypto, especially. This can really hurt you. Diversification in your savings, diversification in your investments, and diversification in your income. Absolutely powerful to overcoming the financial challenges that we have in our country.
You mentioned you're speaking most directly to those invested in crypto, and it seems like we've seen such a rise in crypto, completely unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this in history before. I was just actually speaking to Chen Lin, and he was talking about how China is rolling out their digital yuan and how he expects other countries to do that as well. And we could have like three main cryptocurrencies in the world: the US dollar, the euro, and the yuan. So, but all digital, right? All digital cryptocurrencies. And this could actually kind of push out more independent cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. We could see that really hurt those prices. Your perspective on that, as we see more countries moving towards central bank digital currencies, do you see that impacting the more independent, I guess you could say, cryptocurrencies?
Perhaps initially. I think perhaps initially you could see people who begin to onboard onto a digital dollar or to a digital yuan or to a digital euro. However, when you fast forward the tape, I think you'll end up with a realization that that's not the case. Because when you compare the 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be created to the infinite supply of the digital US dollar, it won't take too long, I think, for many people to say, which one is holding its value and which one is not over time, not tomorrow. I know that they're volatile, and so you may lose 7% on your Bitcoin today and the digital dollar didn't go down. But I'm talking about longer time periods, over a year, over 2 years, over 5 years. What do you want to hold? If you have to hold a digital currency, and so the other thing is that I think that's a wrong thesis that people will just use the digital currency that's promoted by the state and then no longer have any interest in cryptocurrencies, because you literally are creating education on digital assets when the government releases their digital dollar. Why do many people not invest in Bitcoin today? Well, because A, they don't understand it, or B, they don't know how to buy it. And that's usually the two main reasons. When the digital dollar is released and people know how digital wallets work, what have you done? You've just educated the masses on a brand new asset class. So the U.S., I think by educating the public, they're validating the entire asset class. And that means that people will then look for other cryptocurrencies. I don't see a world where Bitcoin and Ethereum become victims of the digital US dollar. I see the dollar as the biggest loser going forward. Digital, paper, or whatever they want to come up with, I see it as the biggest loser. It will not, in my opinion, be able to beat out decentralized projects that don't have the emission schedule that the United States dollar has in any way, in any world that I can imagine.
We've talked about this a lot before, that it seems like the US dollar is, it is the world reserve currency right now, but there are competing currencies kind of warring for that status. So is it still your view that, the dollar is on its way out?
We've been saying this now since 2006, but we've seen a lot of people, Elijah, come along the way who said the dollar is going to go away this year, or it's definitely going to go away by next year, or so-and-so says that it's going to go away in this, that, right? So you and I have seen those failed predictions over and over and over again by so many people who've ruined their credibility by trying to say this is when it's going to happen. The US dollar is declining in value because they're printing too much of it, but it's the world reserve currency. And world reserve currencies don't just tend to drop off of a cliff and go away. So what we have always said is that it's going to be a slow grind. It's going to be a long, slow, steady grind. And we think that the introduction of things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and other types of digital assets are exposing, especially when they have finite supplies, they're exposing the failings and the frailties of the current world reserve currency. That's why the United States doesn't have a digital currency yet, right? You would think if digital currencies weren't threatening to the United States dollar, they would already have one. If their digital currency is going to get rid of Bitcoin, why haven't they released it, right? If that's why, if it's going to destroy all the other digital assets, well, it doesn't need to even have regulations. All it needs to do is release a digital dollar and poof, all the competition goes away. But they haven't released one because they know that as soon as they step into this world, they will be at the bottom. They're going to be at the bottom. This is not a place they want to be. They're late to the game. China beat them to blockchain. Europe is even ahead of them in blockchain. There's islands in the Caribbean that are ahead of the United States when it comes to blockchain. So the United States has been dragging its feet because it benefits from the current status quo. Moving into a digital world where there's other options, that's not a safe place for the United States. So they're dragging their heels. They're not sure. They're hem-hawing. They don't know what to do. China's already got a digital currency. Others are already moving that way. And the U.S. is still trying to figure out this is not good for the world's largest economy to be so ambivalent upon a obvious innovative technology that's not going away. It's been adopted by every Fortune 500 company blockchain has. Again, many countries already have their own cryptocurrencies or creating them. The U.S. is a day late and a dollar short, as usual, and digital currencies are not going to be, it's not going to be a great day for them when they move out into that space. It's really going to expose them, in our opinion.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.